Thank you, Chair Stauber, and good morning to you all. I believe that we can all agree that we need to bring costs down for American families and deliver economic security to the communities that we represent. I see this economic hardship firsthand in Arizona's 3rd District, where families are being squeezed by high costs. Rent, groceries, and yes, energy costs are eating away at our household budgets. But if we're being serious about achieving this, we need to be honest about what's driving it. The cost of living crisis isn't happening because of some imaginary war on oil and gas. If anyone in this room still genuinely believes that more drilling will fix this problem, then we have not been paying attention to the facts and the data. The fossil fuel market is inherently volatile. Its prices are vulnerable to geopolitical shocks, global weather events, and the whims of other fossil fuel producing nations, including our adversaries, or even our own president's erratic tariff dictates. The United States is already producing more oil than ever before, and this is a point that I want to emphasize, more than any country in history has produced. Republicans' dirty drilling agenda will not make America any more energy dominant, and it will not drive prices down. Yet this industry continues to rake in billions of dollars in taxpayer-funded subsidies and tax breaks, including some that are almost a century old. Every year, the federal government hands at least $15 billion in direct subsidies to big oil, as well as a buffet of tax breaks. Americans are simply not seeing a return on this investment. In 2022, the federal government lost $2.1 billion from subsidies to the fossil fuel industry. Continuing to throw money at big oil will only hurt American taxpayers. It's time to seriously reconsider our investments in the energy sector, especially offshore drilling. Again, if we could drill our way out of the affordability crisis, we would have done so. The answer is not more oil. Offshore drilling in particular creates an acute public health crisis. Right off of the Gulf Coast, which is a hot spot for offshore drilling, you can find onshore refineries and what is called Cancer Alley in Louisiana. Here, the cancer risk is nearly 50 times the national average due to chemical plants and oil refineries. It's long past time that we put an end to sacrificing these communities for the sake of industry profit. And beyond these risks, we cannot have a conversation about offshore drilling without acknowledging the climate crisis. In my home state of Arizona, this threat is not some distant, far-off, imaginary threat. It's here, it's now, it's getting worse every single year. Extreme heat is straining our infrastructure and driving up energy costs. Prolonged drought is threatening our water supply and agricultural sector. Wildfires are becoming more frequent and more devastating, and I've spent my career fighting for solutions. As a former Phoenix City Councilwoman, I oversaw investments in our electric vehicle industry, which, by the way, had unanimous bipartisan support. Before that, I helped develop the Paris Climate Agreement to ensure global action on climate change. And right now, as the ranking member of Energy and Mineral Resources, I will continue that fight by pushing to phase down offshore oil and gas production and scale up clean, affordable, American-made energy. And that brings me to offshore wind. I have to say, it has been baffling to watch my Republican colleagues bend over backwards to attack this industry. President Trump's offshore wind ban isn't just ridiculous, it's self-destructive. He's taking one of the best new ways to provide clean electricity off of the table at a time when our electricity needs are growing for the first time in decades. This is not just about fighting climate change. This is about building a brand new industry, being at the forefront of innovation, creating high-wage union jobs for American workers. It's about energy independence, about producing power here at home that is not subject to the whims of foreign dictators or global price shocks. This is a win-win-win-win-win. Offshore wind, among other renewable energy investments, will address the cost of living crisis and the climate crisis while building an industry that creates new opportunities for working-class Americans. Remaining beholden to big oil will only keep American taxpayers from a brighter, cleaner energy future. Thank you, and I yield back.
Thank you very much. Before